Hey, IOSTUX here. In case you didn't know, on top of offering Overwatch and Valorant sessions, I now also offer aim coaching, mental coaching, and coaching for coaches. So no matter what game you play, you can now get professional help to significantly improve aspects of your play. Reception of these new coaching services has been absolutely stellar, and I'm booked out for weeks. And if you want to see the massive results my other clients have, check out iostux.com to book your first session today. Hello.
Hey, hello.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I need to turn my volume down. My eardrums just burst.
Sorry.
All good. How are we doing?
Good. We're doing pretty good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good if I can say so myself. You know, I can't complain. There's like
you got those exams and stuff going on.
Yeah.
Or are you just done? Or you're still doing it this week?
No. It was there was like one mid-term exam. The big end of semester exams are still coming up, so I've got that shit show to look forward to, I guess.
Okay. Well, hope you do well.
But you know, we'll get there.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, what can I do for you today?
We're gonna take a look at my game, and you're gonna roast me.
Sounds like a plan. Apparently, a patch came out. Is that going to be a problem?
I already got it. Oh, no, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, then I need a replay code, and we're going to talk. You need to quickly fill me in on what we talked about last time, because that last appointment was like a little while ago, and I'm a busy man nowadays, so my Alzheimer's is not helpful.
Okay, so last time, basically the main problem was I was around 3,600. The main problem was that I was standing in front of my tanks on high ground, and I was pushing too early on high ground as a DPS, playing his scan. And that was kind of like the main theme. I just did that over and over. I didn't really know why it wasn't working. And I sometimes played projectile, and you told me to stick to hit scan. And those were kind of the main two things. Okay.
Then, have you been working on the positioning issue?
Yeah. I don't know how good my positioning is still, but I'm around 4K-ish now. Well, maybe 3,900.
I mean, I guess that's a trend in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell if the things I'm doing are actually working or if I'm just getting lucky or what it is. And I'll have a few questions later.
Do you want to ask them now?
Okay, well, I guess I could ask them now. I have a friend who's a 4,500 main tank player. And he's also top 500 in DPS. It's just not his main role. And he said he would watch my VODs and tell me, like, kind of coach me the same way you would. And it's hard. I can't tell. I was going to ask you if what he says is correct or if it's not. So I was playing a map on Nepal, I think. And I was on Kree. And he told me the enemy team had a monkey. And he basically said to shoot the monkey before he goes in so that he won't want to go in. And then shoot the monkey when he goes in. And the only time I should shoot other things is when the monkey's dead. And it didn't seem right to me.
I'm going to give you a general piece of advice that isn't specific to what he said, but it can be applied to what he said. Okay. You need to be very careful with advice that is absolute. Okay. Where there's no nuance attached, where there are no conditions attached, no situational circumstances. Okay. So if someone tells you if A, then consider X, Y, and Z, and then choose either B or C. You know, that's a good piece of advice because he's talking about one specific situation but he's giving you multiple things to think about that are going to lead you to two different choices, right? So that whatever you do has a bit of situational awareness. Right now, he's basically telling you if A, then B.
Yeah, that's why it kind of seemed not right, because I didn't like the fact that it is so absolute.
It's not about whether it's right or not.
Okay.
And it's not about his advice being wrong, right? I just want to make this clear. It would be irresponsible of me to say that what he said was like objectively wrong, because I didn't see the game.
Yeah.
This is a case of it's not like factually incorrect, but it's still bad advice, because the most you can do with this information is basically blindly implement it into your gameplay. The problem is if he doesn't go into detail about all of the nuanced factors that went into that decision, it becomes very difficult for you to truly understand why that decision is made.
Yeah. Okay.
And
alrighty.
Ultimately, the only thing you can do in those situations is you can ask for nuance. So, for example, good questions to ask would be, okay, so in which situations does this not apply? Okay.
Right, and I did actually ask that.
Okay.
And he pretty much said never. So, or it never doesn't apply is what he basically said. And so I wasn't sure at that point. I said, okay.
So he literally told you that what you should do every single game, every single map, every single game mode, whether you're on attack or defense, whether you play with a dive comp or a spam comp or a bunker comp or whatever comp, whether you play in bronze or top 500, if the enemy team has a Winston, you should shoot the Winston.
Literally, that's what he said. He literally said that's what he does. He just shoots main tanks in his games and he's top 500. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. That's literally what he said. That's all he thought about. So I don't even know.
I feel like the most politically correct way for me to approach this is to just say that you most likely know what I'm thinking anyways, because it would be very petty and unprofessional of me to verbally
all right, here's the replay code. Let's just go.
Okay, fuck yes, good. Well, I mean, you already know what I'm thinking, so let's phrase it this way. My service is pricey, but for a good reason.
Yes.
Yes.
This is true. His is free.
Very true. You know, and
yeah.
Let me put in this replay code and start screen sharing. Okay, there we go. You need to let me know if the screen share is running smoothly, because as of late there have been some kind of frame droppy issues. Apparently limiting FPS to 60 fixed it for some people, but I don't know if that's like coincidence.
Maybe if I mean, it's pretty jagged. Let me see if I can turn down my... Or no.
Can you define jagged?
Like
with adjectives.
Like it looks like you're rubber banding all the time. Really, really fast.
We're going to try something different. How about I'm going to do this? Is this better?
It's better for sure. Like way better. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what did I do? Oh, yeah. Okay, no. Yeah, it's an issue with OBS. Okay. You know what? I don't even know if I should explain. Actually, I'm going to explain it because it's actually pretty interesting. I am using a little tool called Screen Copy to like share my tablet screen on my PC and then green screen it, and it uses the same decoder, the NV encoder that OBS also uses. And if two things use the same encoder, it gets kind of fucky. So if I just screen share Overwatch directly rather than going through OBS, it kind of isn't as messy. But okay, you can see the gameplay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I can put my tablet aside, and I have to figure that out some other time. Alrighty. So this is like low GM shitter gameplay, basically.
Pretty much.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Why is that so excellent?
Because you're now at the point where, like, all things considered, you're supposed to be good at the game, but
I know.
relatively
Oh,
speaking,
it's so
it's like,
tragic.
like, think about it this way. I would rather be like 3950 than 4050, you know? Because if you're 3950, everyone's going to think of you as a high Masters player, you know? If you're 4050, people are going to think of you as the guy who just got into GM on a lucky win streak, you know?
Yeah.
So, just one of those things that it's a very unfortunate phase in your Overwatch life. You know, it's when the acne comes in and the voice
It's
cracks,
wonderful.
You know, exactly. But okay, so I guess the first thing I can say is your positioning here is a little disciplined, in like a bad way. This positioning here would be stellar if you were playing Ashe. The reason why it would be stellar is because Ashe's effectiveness is only determined by her line of sight, and the line of sight that you have from this position is perfectly fine. I mean, you can see literally the entire enemy team. The problem is that for McCree, it's not just about line of sight, it's also about range. Because if you're playing from a long distance, then the entire pressure from your flashbang is basically non-existent. So that's issue number one. And issue number two is that you are putting pressure on your supports by being up there. Okay, you're making it very difficult, especially for your Baptiste, to kind of keep an overview of the fight. Okay, because Baptiste, what he needs in order to get his ultimate quickly is he needs people to play together. They take damage together, he can AoE heal them together. Okay, that's what helps him get his ultimate, and in turn allows him to heal effectively. Okay.
Okay, so I should probably be playing closer to my tanks and closer to the enemy team.
Yeah, so ideally you should follow right behind the Zarya here, rather than sticking on high ground.
What about the Reinhardt?
You can play with the Reinhardt, I mean, they're playing together anyways. Which one you play with doesn't matter. Like, just...
Okay, I was just wondering why you said Zarya instead of Rein, but it doesn't...
the reason I said Zarya is because Zarya dropped. Basically what I'm saying is your Zarya drops here, you should have dropped with her, you know?
Okay.
Like, moving towards your front line, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you being up there is kind of... It's look at kind of the positioning your Baptiste is in. It's kind of a struggle for him to actually heal everyone.
Okay.
Whereas if everyone was just playing together here, super duper nice. And I guess the Hamlet is going to get big slams, but that's not really something that you should be worried about. Okay. Well, our movement is good. I like it. Never mind, I take that back. Did you just WS strafe?
Yeah, I'm not exactly... I watched this replay before.
Oh, dude, this is...
And I saw that.
Shit right here. Wow.
I was wondering why I did, because I've never done that before. Because I've been reviewing my VODs for a while. I just noticed that, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Early onset dementia.
Yeah, it's not good. I think I do it a good bit more.
Yeah, see, like right here, look at your movement. What the fuck? Why do I always praise things and then half a second later they go to shit? It's like God doesn't want me to like actually give positive feedback.
I think I kind of know what's going on in my head. I feel like I want to get closer, but I'm having like a conflict where I want to get closer, but I also don't want to get so close that I get screwed because I have so many times where I just get too close and I feed.
But that's what corners are for, aren't they? Like, just thinking about this realistically, what's the difference between like this position and this position?
There's no difference. Just closer.
In terms of safety, there isn't. Right? When you review your games, you need to ask yourself, like, which corner am I actually playing around right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Right now. Okay, so there's like three corners that we can look at here. Now, this is the part where I would draw on my screen, but I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my tablet. So I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way and use words. We have corner A, which is like this pillar thing here. We have corner B, which is the entrance to the point, and we have corner C, which is the exit to the point. Right now, which corner are you playing around?
A.
Okay.
Kinda. I'm kind of not playing around it, to be honest. I'm sort of not.
Well, you are kind of. You're playing next to it.
I kind of am.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
Keep things simple. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But which corner is the fight happening around?
See.
Exactly. It's happening around the exit.
So should I be up there?
It means that in terms of safety. Okay. So first of all, so you have two options, right? So you can push up to this corner, or you can push up like all the way with your team.
Yeah.
Now, it's a balance between effectiveness and risk. Obviously, this position would be slightly more risky because you're vulnerable to AoE damage. All of a sudden, the Sigma shit is going to hit you, and I guess Hanzo might land like a lucky headshot on you. Honestly, right now, the only thing that would really spook you is like the Sigma shit. The enemy team doesn't even have that much AoE. So granted, the risk of playing with your team here is not that high, but it's objectively a little higher than if you played at this corner. Okay? So when we look at this, you going to at least this corner is a no-brainer. There's basically no real reason for you not to at least push up to this corner because it's you're closing the gap without any real loss in increase in risk. And then pushing, and then whether you push up all the way to your team, that's a risk versus reward balance. The reward being that anyone decides to get close to the point, all it takes is one flashbang and you get a pick. Right, so you kind of zone them that way. Obviously, downside is that all of a sudden, Sigma can spam you, but against that comp, that downside isn't really that significant. It becomes an issue.
If I go in to that C angle, there's a risk that we get flanked, and I'm
you don't
part of the ones getting
flanks.
flanked.
I need you to rethink. I need you to rethink flank, because right now you think of flanks as a big threat to your team. You think the enemy team is going to flank and they're going to catch us off guard, and
I'm more thinking like a Hanzo or Reaper is just going to step behind.
Exactly, yes. And you think
not the whole team, but
it as a bad thing that can happen to your team, getting flanked.
Okay. So why is it not?
No, I mean it has its downsides, but again, nuance. It's not like everything is black and white. Okay, so obviously one of the advantages of someone going for a flank is that it applies a lot of pressure. It's pretty spooky. They might catch you off guard. But what are some of the downsides of going on a flank? I mean, you're not flanking 24/7, are you? I mean, if there are no downsides to flanking, then why aren't you flanking right now? Wouldn't you be like super fucking annoying?
I know the downsides to flanking. I feel like every time it happens to me, I get killed.
See, that's the thing. So why don't they? You shouldn't think of it as this Hanzo is flanking. You should think of it as this Hanzo is inting. Like he's on his own.
I mean, he's split from his team.
There, right? So you have two options. You can either take care of whoever tries to play a Rambo, or you can say, like the enemy team is kind of split. There's like only 3 people in front of us, and the other guys are like all over the place. I want to play super aggressive here. Try to get a flashbang in, even if it doesn't kill anyone. I want to kind of incentivize and motivate my team to just go in and play aggressive and fuck people. Excuse the language, but ideally, you shouldn't think of a flank as like a threat. You should think of it as an opportunity. Okay? That ultimate was interesting. I'm not going to go too much into the ultimate because it's like, I mean, his ultimate is kind of a meme, so there's things for us to talk about. But in the future, something we should probably think about. But yeah, I mean, your flashbang is sitting there.
Well, what? Yeah.
Just chilling.
So what I'm hearing is I definitely should be playing closer on Cree.
See, and like right here.
God, my movement.
Well, yeah. So again, the movement is a little a question mark, and even right here, like just think about how does your Baptiste feel about this? How does your Lucio feel about this? Why not just just chill with your team? Maybe flashbang the Hammond. That could be a kill. Maybe flashbang like one of these people feeding. I mean, this Reaper, one flashbang, one headshot, a little bit of damage from the rest of your team. He's dead, right?
So,
yes.
I guess what I'm thinking is I'm trying to kill someone, but because it's King of the Hill, it's just more important to not die once you have the point. Is that correct? Or like
no?
For instance,
this isn't about dying or not. This is about gaining. This is like a like just a net gain. basically. I'm not saying reduce effectiveness, increase safety. I'm saying you can increase safety without losing out on effectiveness.
Okay.
Because I feel like you overestimate how effective standing here is over just like standing here with your team. You know? Like the difference isn't really that big. If anything,
I guess I wanted to see if I could get a better angle on their
exactly. That's
squishies,
the thing.
but it's
you need to evaluate these games as they go. This is the first round of this King of the Hill match. You guys are doing pretty well so far. So what has the enemy team done that warrants your big guns, if that makes sense? Do you think like a Smurf?
Nothing.
Do you think like a Smurf, you know, he's going to just pull out like the super big advanced decision making and try hard picks or whatever when he's smurfing? Like, no. He's gonna fuck around, you know? Whenever you see those unranked to like GM streams, unless they're limited to a character, people just fuck around in the low elos. They play like Torb or Symmetra. And then as the rating increases, the enemy team starts to kind of prove themselves a little. They earn a little bit of the Smurf's respect. And they say, okay, these people are still bad, but not, you know, losing to Torbjorn bad. So, you know, I should try like a little harder so that this doesn't take 10 years, you know? And it's kind of the perspective you need to have for each individual game. You need to ask yourself, what have these people actually done to earn my respect? And in this situation, they haven't done anything. So far, you have been stomping them.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense?
So I don't need to do anything extra.
100%. Yeah. There's no reason for you to do anything extra. Just let this play out. See if the enemy team actually deserves your extra. Okay? Because worst case, you're just giving them an opportunity to, you know, regain momentum, turn the game around. Okay, let's see if you stick with the high ground again. Oh.
Yeah, that was tragic. We don't talk about that. I kind of
tragedy. It's about understanding how this is basically the same thing as earlier. Because once again, you decide not, or rather, you're not actively thinking about playing with your tanks. You could have just pushed up with the Zarya here. You know? It's option number one. Or see where your Reinhardt is going. He's charging onto the point as well. The problem is that your Torbjorn, surprisingly, is in a much, much better position than you are right now. Okay, because not the main tank, the tanks in general, they determine what space needs to be held. So if there are no tanks in this area, it means this is not an area that your team wants to fight over, wants to contest, wants to hold. Okay.
Okay.
So you shouldn't even be that far. And look, the Baptiste made the same mistake.
And Lucio. Oh, except I think he got... Oh no, he's still hiding behind there. You see him down to the right.
If you were with the Zarya, Reaper would be... There's no way he could have gotten this kill.
Yep.
So you would have saved your Zarya, and you would have gotten a pick on the Reaper. Just look at
Possibly.
the kill feed.
He could have wraithed away, but yeah.
Look at the kill feed. Right now, you're down 3 people. It's basically a guaranteed teamfight loss. Let's remove your death, and then replace the top entry, flipping it around. Right? Their Reaper dies. All of a sudden, a -3 turns into an even +1, -1. Okay? So that's the impact that small decisions like this can have. Just staying with one of your tanks, being consciously aware of their positioning.
I guess I just undervalue playing what you get from playing with a tank. I guess I just constantly think I need to be doing something where I'm trying to kill someone at an off angle or something like that, when I could just be playing with my tanks.
You need to do that in certain situations, but you need to give the enemy team a chance to actually force that out of you. To make you sweat, it's called.
Yeah.
but they haven't done anything, and you're already sweating. Going on these flanks.
Yeah, I think I was sweating because that freaking Reaper is like rank 150 or something. I was like, man, don't kill me.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
See, and that's the problem, because, okay, even if you, let's just imagine for a second you're not kidding. There's a part of your subconscious that thinks that, and there is. When you get into the loading screen and you see that rank 150 DPS player on the enemy team, even if your conscious tells you, this is just a human being, no worries, a part of your subconscious is going to look at that and is going to say, he's someone that I need to respect. And that's the mindset you need to lose. The anecdote that I like to give is when I was playing League of Legends with friends, I was very good. I've been doing this whole Overwatch thing for a while.
Yeah.
So I started playing with them again after years of not playing it. And I picked up Aurelia, who's like a top lane character. So there's the different lanes. So I was separate from my teammates.
Yeah, I play low league. I know. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was just chilling top lane, laning phase, 1v1, right? And I grinded the game pretty hard. I took notes, I did VOD reviews, not because I wanted to go pro or anything, but because I wanted to kind of get up to speed, kind of reach the level of my friends. And then I got into a game, and the enemy team had like a master level Darius. Like a genuinely high level player. Okay?
Okay.
Right? And, my friends, I remember this very vividly because we got into the loading screen. Okay, and I was just chilling. I was reading Reddit because loading screens in League are huge. And my friend started to laugh. And I was like, okay, what's up? And then he said, you might want to open up op.gg. It's basically the website that shows you like all of the people's ranks. Okay. And I'm like, okay, so open it up. And I see the rank, right? And they were like, yeah, Godspeed to you, Mr. Iostux. Because they knew that, I'm pretty new to the game. And then all of a sudden I get like this Masters guy, And ultimately, right? And that's the thing, because they have, their mindset is different from mine, because the moment they saw that Masters player on that op.gg page, they immediately drew a conclusion about the outcome or the direction the game is heading. They already thought in their mind, okay, they have a Masters Darius, he's going to be a problem, right? And that's the kind of mindset that prevents you from actually getting anywhere, giving people respect that they haven't earned through gameplay, right? The correct mindset is that you should always be under the assumption that everyone on the enemy team is boosted. And then only after you actually see them play well, do you reassess where they where they stand. And that's what I did. I looked at that master player. Of course, I respected his accomplishments, right? But I'm not a Masters player. I have never played against a Masters player. So who am I to say how good a Masters player actually is?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe Masters players are like what? Maybe they're like only 1% better than Plat players. I mean, obviously this is very exaggerated, right? But I don't know. I've never played against them,
Yeah.
Maybe he's not that comfortable on this pick. Maybe he's washed up or whatever. Right? So I go into that game and I say,
it's not playing competitive, so
I just see how it goes, And I ended up winning laning phase against him.
Wow.
It's like a fairly, like, it's called kind of a skill matchup where it doesn't really favor either one. It's kind of just whoever plays good.
Yeah.
And my friends told me, like, dude, just don't feed him, just farm if you can, But I said, I told myself, like, if this was like a gold Darius, would I really just farm? Like, no, I know exactly when my character has like their power spike. I know exactly like when I need to go back for which item, how to set up my kills. Like, I have it like planned. I know exactly what kind of mistakes he can make and how I can punish them. And then as with any other player, I just look for those opportunities, and then he fucks up the same way that like a gold player would fuck up, because it's not like they don't make mistakes. The frequency is just lower. And I went in and then, ultimately ended up winning lane. It's not like I stomped him, just to kind of.
No, I know. But that's impressive because Masters players in leagues are actually good players,
Exactly. It's not like.
At my rank, the players aren't actually good.
Exactly. So,
that's pretty impressive.
But to be fair, again, I don't know. This doesn't necessarily mean that I'm better than him. Maybe he just, not maybe, honestly. Ultimately, what it came down to is he underestimated me, because my account is ranked like very, very low. Okay. Yeah. So just for context, like the only reason I even played against him is because we were playing flex ranked, like not the main ranked, but like ranked flex.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So his solo queue rank was masters, but like in ranked flex, he doesn't fucking give a shit. He just plays it with friends. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason I actually got to play with him. And, all he saw is that, that account that I was playing on was like ranked like silver 1 or something. I don't know. And he thought to himself, like, I can do whatever the fuck I want here, And that's the thing, because in the same way that you giving the enemies respect that they haven't earned makes you play worse, other people giving you even less respect than you actually deserve also makes them play worse. Okay. So so the less prejudiced you can be about someone's performance off of their rating, the bigger the advantage that you ultimately have.
Yeah.
Does all of that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and I know that anecdote was pretty long, and like we're basically at the end here, but I wanted to finish with it because it's kind of an important lesson. Yeah, time flies by when you're having fun. Haha. It's an important lesson because it's something that's going to become an even bigger, I guess, talking point or point of focus for you as you get into higher ratings. Because there's a reason you're called a low GM shooter. Because when someone is like ranked when someone is like ranked 150, the way that the ranked system works, it's a bell curve. The higher you go, the bigger the difference becomes between ratings. The difference between like a low GM player and someone who can easily consistently get into top 100 is pretty huge, right? Yeah. And the thing that prevents low GM shitters from climbing is having unwarranted respect. And then the thing that, causes high elo players to lose is having unwarranted disrespect, Mm-hmm. But it's always about being unobjective.
Okay. So just personally, what rank do you think is the rank that players are actually good?
That is based on your definition of actually good.
Yeah, so I'm asking for your definition, basically.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't really base it on like how good they actually are at the game, but rather whether, like, ultimately for me, like, video games are meant to be enjoyed. That's kind of the point behind them. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, if by asking who do you think is good, you're asking, who do you want to be like? Who are you looking up to? I'm just looking up to the people who are doing whatever they like. I mean, if someone is maybe a little bit on the older side, doesn't have a lot of experience, and they can't play the game that much, maybe they can only play like an hour a day, so they're like stuck in gold. Like, I think that's good, because most people who are that old and only play an hour a day, they're like stuck in bronze. And this guy, he applied himself, he's invested, he does his research, and like he has realistic expectations. He knows he's not going to get super high with these restrictions, but he made the most of those limitations, and he actively says, I know I can get higher, I just don't want to, because I don't want to spend that much time on the game. I want to play a little, but not everything, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if someone is playing like 30 hours a week and they quit college because they want to go pro, but they're stuck in gold, that's not something I would say is good. That's not something I'd want to be like. Not necessarily even because they're gold despite their playtime, but because their reasons are kind of awkward, because, they don't want to get good for the sake of like pursuing true mastery at something, but there's always external reasons, trying to compensate for something or wanting fame or boost their self-esteem or something. Yeah. So in my opinion, a good player is someone who truly just wants to get good at the game for the sake of the game, you know? And that's the reason why. Look, I'm going to show you something. 1 second.
I really like that perspective. It's like it sits well. You know what I mean?
Oh, you get that after a lot of Zen, my dude. No, it's just once you reach like a very high level, it kind of changes your perspective a little, because all of a sudden, most people's decision making isn't decided by what they want, but rather by what they want to achieve. People always want to grind towards something that they like admire. The reason why people want to get so good at video games because they admire people who are at high ranks. It's not necessarily because they think it's fun or because it's something they like. Okay, but look, I'm gonna show you a website. It's called speedrun.com. Okay, and let's go to games. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just. There we go. Good. Okay, so speedrun.com. Let's scroll down a little.
I see SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yep.
Sounds like a good game.
All right, we're gonna go even further down. Also, this website is the most laggy shit I have ever seen. Why is it like so stuttery? Jesus Christ.
Oh god. Why are there like 17 different Minecrafts? I'm so confused.
There are 19 people who speedrun Overwatch. Okay.
So, 19.
Yeah, let me.
How do you speedrun Overwatch?
Training range.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, let's go. Actually, let's use it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, tutorial 4.0, 50 eliminations, uprising story, retribution story. Let's do like miscellaneous.
That's so interesting.
Let's do practice range. There we go. Okay. These are people who speedrun the Overwatch practice range.
Okay.
I need to see what that actually means.
Is there a certain number of kills?
Let me check. Kill all 11 training bots in the practice range with every hero in order. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. That's what these people are doing. And I want you to look at this. Okay. There are 20 people in the world who speedrun this shit. Okay?
Okay.
Now just let that sink in. What do they have to gain out of this? Because at that point, the reason they're doing it is not for the competition, you know? They're not doing...
Yeah.
The Grow didn't do it because, you know, he wanted to fucking beat Windex or Jay French or something, you know? The reason these people do it is because they just want to fucking do it. They just bought Overwatch, they went into the practice range, and then they asked themselves, like, is there like a speedrun for this? You know, just for the fuck of it. And then like these people didn't even put that much time into it, you know, they just kind of grinded it out. You know, like if we go to console, there we go. Look at these 6 crazy ass people. Okay? These are 6 console players who like compete for this. Okay, and that's kind of the magic of it. Okay, and again, it's the same with like there's so many games here. Like sort by least active. Okay.
Okay, this is 0.
There's like but down here, right? Obviously, there's going to be like one game that has 1 active player. And not just one game. There's probably going to be a lot of games here that have 1 active player. And the point I'm trying to get at here is that like, who is he competing against? You know, there are people who are speedrunning a game just because they like the game and that's how they like to spend their time.
It's an intrinsic thing.
Okay, exactly.
It's rewarding just for the sake of it.
Also, holy fuck.
What?
I'm sorry. I played this game on a Nintendo DS so long ago. Holy crap, dude, this is so nostalgic. Okay, whatever. I'm going to like open this because I just want to see this game again. Oh my god.
Adam times.
This is so nostalgic. Anyways, do you see the point that I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Okay. So, Do you have any questions about that general mindset?
No, I mean, not specifically about the mindset, I guess. It just, I hadn't seen that kind of perspective in this sort of format before. So there are a lot of things you can do, obviously, with your life. And a lot of people choose something based on what they find rewarding just for the sake of it,
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's mastering something physically or taking care of people or whatever it is. And it's just interesting to see that applied to the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure it has something to do with the feeling of mastery, but also just for the sake of it, because you enjoy it. And it's just interesting to see.
Look here, this is the guy, Windex the Great. He was, we saw him just now in the...
Oh, this is a speedrun.
Okay, look, he has 36 subscribers. Okay.
There's 1,000 views, dude.
And 1,000 views. Look, he got the world record. Just let that sink in. He is the best in the world at something. And what did it get him? 1,000 views. And like, he's probably pretty fucking good at this. He probably has like, he knows exactly when to start the run based on the bot's positioning. He knows exactly like the best order for the characters, like how to time his cooldowns and all of that stuff. Like, he figured this shit out,
Yeah.
He doesn't do this because he wants like fame or money. He just does it because, like here, what's the goal in a practice range speedrun? Look, this guy probably wasn't even asking like literally what's the goal. He was asking like, what the fuck, why are you doing this? Like all this dude got for his hard work, it's just so that some dude called Rexbot can say nice and he can like it. Like, I'm gonna like it too. I'm gonna like his video. There you go. Look, I'm gonna comment.
Perfect.
Sick. Okay.
Great.
And that's the thing. This is the kind of mindset you need to have in order to get good at something. Where even if you have no amount of admiration or whatever to gain out of it, you're still going to do it. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that. I have some things like that.
Well, excellent. Okay, so we went into like 40 minutes overtime. Just
it's fine. We're just
consider
chatting.
it like a little gift or something, whatever. You're welcome.
Thank you.
And
yeah, it was great talking with you.
No problemo. And if you ever feel like speedrunning Chris Sawyer's Locomotion, you know what to do.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send you a message, say, hey, I got the world record in one of these games that no one plays.
Or DDR Game Party Mix TV Plug and Play Twin Pro 2-player dance pad. You never know. Wow. No runs submitted. This could be your chance. Just look at this crazy fucker, dude. Tier Little Toaster is moderating this game.
Oh my god, this is great.
He's just waiting for some dude to speedrun DDR Game Party Mix TV.
Why doesn't he do it, dude?
Dude, he wants to. He's just in it for the thrill of moderating. Maybe this is going to become like a big category on Twitch. And then people are gonna be like, dude, holy shit, he's the super mod who made it possible.
Super mod, dude.
Okay.
Incredible. Yeah, maybe it'll become a thing where people just go and try and get the world record in games that no one plays.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Look at this right here. This dude, he is the only person on this website. 1 week ago, he got the world record in Courage the Cowardly Dog Nightmare Vacation.
That was from a TV show, right?
Yeah, it's a web game. Probably played. And look, not only that, look, he's literally moderating the game in which he has the world record. 5 minutes, 3 seconds, 200 milliseconds.
So he curated the speedrun for it, and then he got the record.
Exactly.
Wow.
Look, he even wrote these rules. So the only rules, time starts when start is pressed and ends when you win appears. It's all that matters. Okay? And this is what I'm saying. This dude, he doesn't need YouTube guides or Twitch culture or Reddit upvotes. He doesn't give a shit. He just sat down 1 week ago and he invested 5 minutes of his life getting this world record for a game nobody gives a shit about except him. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's the person you need to be like.
Do you Do you have that kind of perspective when it comes to coaching?
How do you mean?
Like, do you get something out of it apart from the fact that it makes you money?
Um, Initially it did. The reason I did it is because I liked helping people, because I had like self-esteem issues, and I liked that affirmation. You know, people saying like, dude, this was so helpful, you know, my mind is blown, and then like messaging me, you know, like, dude, I climbed like 500 SR, man, like that was amazing or something. You know, it felt really, really good.
Mhm.
But like nowadays I'm kind of at a point where I don't need, like, where I kind of just know I'm good. Like, not in an arrogant way, but more in a, if I'm not good by now, then I should just jump off a bridge. You know, like if you do something for 6 years as much as I did, you know, for hours every day, eventually you'll get good at it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not actually always true,
Well,
but
assuming you get go with the right mindset and everything, you know. But
yeah.
you know what I'm saying is that, like, you know, I like I'm good now, right? And I don't think what I do now is difficult. But that's kind of the whole reason why I worked for it, why I invested so much time in it. So it's not difficult anymore, you know?
Right, I mean, because you're so good at it, that just comes naturally,
Exactly.
I guess.
You know, like there are people out there working 10 times harder than me and 10 times as long, and they make like a fraction of the money because I had to invest all of that time and like take a lot of risks and deal with a lot of stuff to like get to a point where I can do it effortlessly, you know?
Right.
And that's kind of what people pay for ultimately, because I can do it effortlessly. You know, they don't have to worry about, I have a session with stocks coming up. Is this actually going to help me? You know, like they know.
Or am I wasting my time with this guy?
You know, exactly. Like they know. It's not a matter of like, is he going to be able to help me? It's just, you know, like it's kind of an even transaction. It's like when you go to the supermarket and you pay for a cucumber. You know you're gonna get a cucumber, and it's
What
kind
if it's
of
moldy, dude?
it's kind of the same thing here. You know, when people get the coaching session, you know, I would hope that they've reached a point where it's no longer about, I don't know if this is going to help me, but rather this is going to help me, but, you know, is it worth it for me? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, enough of that. It's like almost midnight here. The session went way into overtime, but
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
all good. No rush. Well, I'm assuming you don't have much more to say.
I guess not. I don't want to take any more of your time. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're good. Is that recording? Yeah, we're good.
I'm recording as well if you need it.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I have it recorded.
Okay, perfect.
Over here.
Well, then I guess
The last one I looked at like 3 times.
Good talk, and I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another session. So
yeah, make sure
probably see you.
Don't make the same mistake as last time, and this time you get the amazing juicy follow-up discount.
Yep. And see, there's something behind why I didn't do it again. I don't know if you really care to hear why.
Give it to me. Market research.
Okay. I think it has to do with, I guess it's kind of an ego thing. I know it sounds kind of lame.